Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. Welcome back to our garden in Spokane, Washington, where the hardiness zone ranges from about 5B to 6A. Did you know that fall is the time to plant bulbs that will bloom for you next spring? It is. And they are so easy to find these days. You can buy bulbs at garden centers and nurseries, at home centers, hardware stores, even your grocery store. And of course, there's all sorts of great bulb suppliers that are online that you can order from. So in today's video, I wanted to share some very important tips so that you know how to plant them. And I'm also going to mention something that we rarely think about, and that is aftercare. So I'm talking about when the bulbs have finished blooming in the spring, there's something really important that you need to know. Here are examples of spring bulbs that are planted in the fall. Alliums, anemones, camas lilies or camassia, glory of the snow or Chionodoxa, crocus, daffodils or narcissus, foxtail lilies or aramuris, crown imperial fritillaries, grape hyacinths, Dutch hyacinths, rock garden iris, and boy are they gorgeous, snowdrops or galanthus, Siberian squill or Scilla siberica, and oh, the tulips. Be sure to look also at species tulips because they are amazing. Now I want to share my tips with you so you can be very successful at growing spring bulbs. The first one especially applies if you are ordering bulbs online. Make sure that you're buying bulbs that will grow well in your hardiness zone. And if you don't know what your hardiness zone is, you can ask a gardening friend or neighbor. You can ask your local Master Gardener program. It's a free service. Or you can check the hardiness zone maps that are online. As far as the timing for planting bulbs, you want to plant them in the fall before your ground freezes, because once that happens, there's no way you're getting those bulbs in the ground. Plant bulbs with the pointy end facing up. On the opposite end, that's the basal plate, and that's where the roots will come out. So you always want the roots facing down. Planting depth is important, so when you're ready to plant your bulbs, be sure to check either the package that they came in or the website where you ordered your bulbs from to determine how deep the hole should be. The general rule of thumb is that bulbs should be planted 2 to 3 times the height of the bulb. Do not use bulb fertilizer when you're planting new bulbs. That's because the bulbs have already stored the energy they need in order to flower for you next spring. Now, after they have flowered and the leaves have died, then yeah, you can sprinkle some bulb fertilizer on the ground around the bulbs. You definitely do not want to put bulb fertilizer in a planting hole anyway, because it will burn the basal plate on the bulb, and that's again where the roots are going to come out. So I want to plant these narcissus bulbs in this general location. And when you're planting bulbs, try to avoid planting them in a straight line, because frankly that's going to look dorky and not natural. So instead, just toss them and plant them where they land. So this is a bulb planter, and I need to plant these narcissus 6 inches deep. And if you look at this, you can see this is exactly 6 inches deep. So the way it works is that you put it where you want to plant your bulb, and you probably have to press down pretty hard and go down that depth. I'm almost there. There we go. Pull it out. And there is my planting hole. So I'm going to carefully hold on to it by the neck and put it at the bottom. And then what I can do is go on to the next bulb. And when I push down to do the same thing, what will happen is this will push this 6 inches of soil out of the bulb planter, and I can put that into the hole over the first bulb. Part of it's come out. And there we are. So all of this came from that first hole. Pull this out, plant the next bulb, and then do your next hole. And fill in that previous hole. And so on. And it never hurts to put a little marker in the general area where you planted the bulbs so that you remember that's where something's going to be coming up. So this is what I just planted. This is Narcissus Delebe, and look at the contrast between the orange trumpet and the yellow petals. I thought, oh, that is going to be so beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them blooming next spring. And that brings us to the aftercare for your spring bulbs. Once the flowers have faded, it's okay to snip them off. But as long as the leaves are still green, that means they are conducting photosynthesis and storing all sorts of energy in the bulb for the following year's blooms. And that's what happens every year. So leave the leaves in place as long as they're green. When they turn brown, yeah, you can clean them up. I know we like to have tidy gardens, but this is a very compelling reason to leave those leaves in place until they die. I hope that this video was helpful and that you have great fun planting bulbs. Happy gardening, everybody.